right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Seated next to me is one of Uganda's greatest three-point shooters, Mr. Albert Aciku. I mean, Albert, tell us about that record you still hold. You hold the record for the most threes in a game. Tell us about it. I mean, how was it? Did you expect to come and shoot the lights out, or it was just in you?
No, it was, I'll tell you what, every player has that one game where they come and everything is dropping for them.
Yeah.
That was my day. But I'll tell you first about the team we were playing, Miracle.
Yeah.
Miracle is one of the toughest teams to play against in the league for a very, very long time because they were very strong physically and very aggressive.
Yeah.
However skilled you were, those guys didn't care. They were coming at you full force. And now this was in Nkumba University, so Nkumba was a shooting team. And I was the point guard. But we were able to, like every time we knew someone was delivering, everyone would work towards getting that person the ball. We were together again. We were together for not so like first we were with Tom, then Tom left, then Timothy I think came in as our coach. But we were a unit that was so together. Our level of chemistry was huge. We understood each other at almost every level. Yeah. We lived in the same hostel. The entire team lived in the same hostel. We ate together, we partied together, we did almost everything together. Yeah. So our chemistry was up there. Now this one day we were playing Miracle, and I wasn't the best shooter on our team, by the way. Yeah. We had a designated shooter called the point guard. He was called Mafabi, and of course we had Norman, who was our go-to guy most of the time. So this one day, my first shot goes in the first quarter, my second shot goes in, they're like, okay, you know what, let's get this guy the ball. By the time, and the crowd was keeping count, by the way. By the time I got to 7, every time I put out the ball, the crowd was counting 8, I was like cheering on.
That was at YMCA?
Yes, it was at YMCA. 9, the crowd is still going. Now, at that point, they said guarding me tougher, so even the coach said, let's run pick and rolls for him. So I'll go through 1, 2, 3, get free shot. Everything I put up was going in. The only shot I missed was, I think, my last 3-point shot, and the only reason I missed it was they held my hand, which was a foul. I went on the line and shot free throws. Yeah. I actually shot 13 threes. The crowd counted 13 threes, but in the records there were 10. So that was just one special day. Yeah. Everyone gets a day like that. You have Michael Jordan scoring 60 points in a game. You have 81. Kobe 81.
Yeah, there's that like 14 threes.
There's that one game. Yeah. There's that everyone, you get that one game. Yeah. And also at that point, I think I was, let me see, I was in my early 20s. Yeah. I was in my early 20s. Yes, 21, 22. You're like almost at the peak. That's when like you're peaking in your career, you know? So everything happened for me that right? So, and that built so much confidence going on. Like missing became not an option. Yeah. Like you knew everything you're putting up is going
inside.
Yeah. I mean, but that didn't deter me from my role as a point guard though. Yeah. I always knew I had to help my team always bring down the ball and get them get easy options with assists. Yeah.
I mean, you got done with Kitante, and what team did you join next?
I went straight to Nkumba. From Kitante, I went straight to Nkumba. Then when I left Nkumba, that's when I started moving around other clubs. Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about Nkumba. I know, in the records of Ugandan basketball, you're one of the, that team you guys built is one of the best teams ever in Uganda. How was basketball in Nkumba, and how did the journey start? I mean, I don't know if you found the Normans already there.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. Carl Mugalu was I don't know if you know Carl Mugalu. He's, I think he now works with KU, Kampala University. I think he's a staff member at Kampala University. He's the one who put that whole group together. the Normans, he called me.
He called you from Kitante.
Yes, he called me. He basically put the team together.
Was he a student?
Yes, he was a student. And he called players, put the team together. He managed to convince the administrators these are good players. So some had full bursaries, some had half bursaries. And he just put the team together, and that was it. And that was like, again, like I told you, the level of chemistry we had there, I think it's the most fun I have had playing. It's not the most fun I've had playing with a team.
Yeah.
It's one of the best experiences I've had.
Yeah.
Playing on a team that was well organized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk about your first championship with Nkumba. Did you win the first championship in first year? Or it took a while before you began with
I think it was in my second year.
Okay.
Yes, it was in my second year.
How was your first year? I mean, that was your first time to play in the local league, right? Or
No.
you played in Rhino, right?
When I was with Rhino, again, remember, I told you when that crop of players that went to the US, there were like two different groups like getting out. Now, many Rhino players left.
Okay.
There were many Rhino players left, and we got initiated into the senior team very, very early.
When you're in secondary school?
Yes, in secondary school. So we're competing in the senior league. I actually remember one game we played Falcons, I think in the semifinals of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
That was after we had that lot going.
Going.
And we're playing, because I was not playing much at that point, but I was ready to compete.
Yeah.
We're playing Falcons in the semifinals, and like sitting on the bench and you're inching to step on that court, you're like, give me that 1 minute, give me that 1 minute. So I think towards the end of first half, they get me on. I don't know if we're playing quarters then. I don't know if we're playing quarters, but I get on and stop me if you can. Everything is, I think we're down many points, gap is closed. Half ends, third quarter, go back in. Falcons could not stop me.
The Stephen Omony's.
I don't know if Stephen Omoy was there. No, it was Wilson Kaliavala. I remember I think it was that era before Stephen Omoy. I think Stephen Omoy, no, I don't know if Stephen Omoy was there. I don't recall if he was there, but that is when I was officially unleashed.
When you're in secondary school?
Yes.
Wow.
At that point, I was going at everyone.
Yeah.
Going at everyone. I remember we cut I don't know how many were down. We even got the lead. Then I got a headbutt on my eye. And I was bleeding, but I could not even see. I think the blood was going across. Yeah, you see that scar? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they said, no, time out, sub. You need to get a doctor to look at this. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm okay. The heat of the moment, you don't feel the pain. There's nothing going on for you. Like, just keep going. So I get out of the game, and they had to take me to the clinic. I got stitches. I didn't realize how big it was till after the next day.
Yeah.
But from that point on, I now understood how to compete. I understood how to compete, and that was like the turning point for me to be able to compete at a high level.
Yeah.
So even when I was in Nkumba, at that point, I knew what I needed to do to perform at a high level. So that game was a turning point for me, and I really liked my trajectory from there. Because I remember even playing in the league from Nkumba, when we meet Power was one of the most dominant teams back then.
Yeah.
Like, their best guard was Marvin. I think he's in Canada now.
Yeah.
Guy, we'd go at each other, but I would beat him most of the time. So, again, it comes back to learning the right fundamentals, being taught the right way.
Yeah.
It's very, very important for people to be taught the right way, young players to be taught the right way. Because I think I thrived a lot on learning the right way and being able to execute and being fit. Because, man, right now, anything, you come late for practice, you are going to run a couple of hills, not one. The senior team, you're probably running all the 7 hills of Kampala, because those guys could run.
All the 7 hills.
I mean, they could run.
Yeah.
They could run. I'm telling you, they could run.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've met Sylvain Kaboa. Sylvain Kaboa was like flash. The guy was like lightning for a point guard.
He was too fast.
He was extremely fast. Oof, those guys.
Okay.
I think they should have even gone for like short sprint races. They could have probably
100
won
meters.
Ugandan medals.
Yeah.
Those guys were super fast. Imagine he's so fast with the ball. Imagine him without the ball.
Yeah. There's a big
Like
difference.
remember Ivan
Enabu.
Enabu.
Yeah.
Ivan Enabu with a ball, you can't catch him. Now imagine him without a ball. So,
Yeah, Jim is actually the same.
but I'll tell you, Sylvain was faster than those guys.
For real.
Yes, both
Wow.
of them. He was that fast.
And Nimrod.
Nimrod was fast. So Nimrod, I think, Nimrod was with Falcons then,
Yeah.
or Blue Jackets. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So from Rhino, you finally joined Nkumba,
Nkumba,
and of course
yes.
you're already used to the league, and
Yes.
you won your first championship in
Second year in
second year
Nkumba.
with the Norman Blix.
Yes.
How was that?
Norman
How was
Blix.
the first championship? And was the Timothy the coach?
Yes, I think yes. Timothy was the coach. After that first year, Tom left. Timothy came in. I would say Timothy is a lucky guy because he found a well-oiled machine, and he knew exactly what to do to get us to perform.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing we didn't have. There was nothing we didn't have. We had everything. We just needed someone to organize us, and that was Timothy, exactly what Timothy did.
Yeah.
Now, funnily enough, I'll tell you, again, I think we played Falcons in the finals.
Again.
Yes, we actually did play Falcons in the finals. I remember Norman got a semi-pro deal in Rwanda. So during the final series, I think he missed, 2 games.
It was best of what, 5?
I think it was best of 5. He missed 2 games, and I think we were playing. I think he came back halfway of game 5.
And what was the theory?
I think we were tied at 2 at that point.
So
yeah,
the determinant game.
yes, for the determinant game. We knew he was coming back. We had his jersey ready.
Yeah.
We had practiced a full court press, the 1-2-2 full court press. And we said no one is going to pass. I remember you would probably count the number of times Falcons crossed the halfway line.
From the press.
From the press. However, we were also young and careless at that point.
Yeah.
So I remember the game was actually in fact, Falcons was leading. Norman came halftime, he dressed up, warmed up. I think he played like the last 5 minutes
Of the game.
of the fourth quarter.
A championship game.
And yes, and I remember vividly what I told him. We need you to just come and shoot 1-3. That's all we told him, come and shoot 1-3. The guy straight from the bus to the court, we told him, come shoot 1-3. Indeed, he came and shot 1-3. And I don't know if Falcons were afraid of the guy at that point, but they froze,
When they
like
saw him.
completely freezing. From the time Norman stepped on court, I don't think they even scored the basket after
What?
that. Yeah. I don't think they even scored the basket after that. We just walked. It was like a walkover from that point on.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to see the guy. Because anyway, he was one of the hottest things in the region at that point.
Yeah.
At that point. So that's all he needed. Just 1-3. It was motivation for us, Nkumba, and it was disaster for Falcons at that point. Falcons, much respect to Falcons. Those guys, that club did something great for basketball.
In Uganda.
They changed the level of competition of basketball in Uganda. Well, power, yes, but Falcons, they turned an era. They turned an era around.
Yeah.
Yes, Falcons definitely did.
How many championships did you win with Nkumba?
2.
2. Were they back-to-back championships?
Yes.
How was the second one?
The second one were like going through the paces. Now the second one is where that press really even was almost like it was hard for you. Just knew we were coming at you with the press.
You perfected
The
it.
second one, we became very cocky. And we were too confident as a team because we knew what we were capable of doing.
Yeah.
So our level of confidence was so high.
Yeah.
w- we had support from almost the whole community in Entebbe, including the fishermen.
They used to come and watch games?
Yes.
Wow.
If you noticed, every time Nkumba came for a game, we the players would not come in the bus.
What?
The university bus was full an hour before departure with students.
They're all at YMCA?
YMCA was always packed. We had one of the biggest fan base at YMCA. Then we would have to hire a taxi to bring the players. Sometimes we had fishermen who would say, "Neda tujabatwala, come sit in our cars." They'll drive us,
Wow.
the players. They became our number one fans. We had support from, I think, Night Riders. We had free entry into Night Riders then. Casinos were even looking to support us then.
Wow.
Yes, so just know our fan base were big. We had people coming from Ginger just to watch our games because of the Norman Blake connections with Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, just know, just the whole community in Entebbe knew who the Marines were.
Yeah.
And we were always around that community, you know,
mixing
meeting
with them,
people.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
mixing. And the fishermen know people.
Yeah.
They know people, so they were one of our biggest fans, really.
I mean, did you go unbeaten that season? Did you first challenge the
I
Jurua that
don't
season?
remember being unbeaten, but there was no team. We were kind of the untouchables. That I remember. I don't know if we were unbeaten, but I know we were one of the toughest teams to compete against. At that point, I also remember KIU had a pretty strong squad with Magalo. My brother actually was in KIU. They had a very, very good team. So whenever there was a university derby, oof,
It was fun.
YMCA was on fire. Oof, YMCA was on fire.
I'm actually honored to sit next to you today. You have played with Norman. I've asked a couple of people about the goats. So they always talk about Norman or Mon. I mean, you played with Norman. How was Norman as a teammate in terms of dedication, in terms of being a leader and everything?
Norman never liked to lose. Losing wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Norman always wanted to win. He would find a way to win, and pointing fingers wasn't his thing.
Yeah.
Let's move on, let's go, let's get the next one. He used not to talk much. The most times you'd hear him talk was when maybe he wants to say something about something that is not working right, and he would point at it. We need to do this better. Let's play better defense. Let's stop them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was our go-to guy. So we knew what he was capable of doing. Give him the ball.
Yeah.
And he knew he loved the game so much that he played it so well while we were at university, and it elevated him to greatness from that point.
Yeah.
That's how he was able to go to Seychelles, to Qatar. He also went to Qatar.
Yeah.
And it was all within that time frame. But he loved this game too much.
Yeah.
He loved this game too much, and it was him. Basketball. He is basketball.
Amen.
Norman Blake is basketball.
It's basketball.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big statement from
Yes.
a legend and, of course, one of the players who played with him. We're going to get into another short break, and please stay tuned for the last segment. Of course, I'm still here with Uganda's best all-time shooter, Albert.